Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session. Today is October 2nd, 2018, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, I'd like to call Sue Vilio. I think I said that right. Velillo. Did I get it close? Velillo. Sue Velillo with Lutheran Social Services Choices program, recognizing National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It's estimated that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. And here to help us recognize National Domestic Violence Awareness Month is Sue Velillo, did I get that right? Executive Director of Lutheran Social Services, Choices for Victims of Domestic Violence. She's joined us at the microphone and to help educate us on domestic violence and share with our audience the excellent work that they're doing through Choices that offers hope to our Franklin County residents. Thanks for being here, Sue.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, all honored guests this morning. October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It's a national effort to educate the community about this pervasive social problem. Domestic violence affects people from all walks of life. It does not discriminate based on socioeconomic class, background, educational background, race, or religion, or nationality. We know that 1 in 3 women, as you said, and 1 in 4 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. For most people, there will be more than one episode. In addition, every day in the United States, 3 women are murdered at the hands of a former or current intimate partner. That means by the end of this Domestic Violence Awareness Month, 93 women will be murdered, mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, as a result of domestic violence. It is imperative that we continue to discuss this issue, that we identify it as the crime that it is, and that we assure victims that there is safety and support for them. LSS Choices exists to provide safety and services to victims and survivors of domestic violence. We offer a variety of services to meet the unique need of each family. Our crisis hotline provides immediate access to Choices services, referrals to other services offered by community partners, safety planning, and emotional support. As you know, our shelter is the only domestic violence shelter in Franklin County. It is old and undersized. We have 51 beds and average more than 70 people in shelter every single night. LSS Choices has a new shelter under construction, and we anticipate it will open before the end of the calendar year. The shelter capacity increases from 51 to 120, one of the many features designed in the building to create a safe, dignified environment for healing. In addition to these services, Choices provides community advocacy, individual counseling, legal advocacy, and peer support groups throughout the community. These programs combined serve more than 2,000 Franklin County residents annually. As a result of the support of the Franklin County Commissioners, LSS Choices has 2 new initiatives underway. The first is a transitional housing program that will provide victims fleeing violence with high barriers to safety and stability, long-term assistance without having to remain in the shelter. Services will be provided in their own home. The second undertaking is a community analysis of programs designed to serve victims, perpetrators, and children impacted by domestic violence. It will identify the continuum of services available in the community, gaps in that continuum, and plan for future expansion of services to help provide safety for all residents of Franklin County. Domestic violence is a pervasive community problem and requires involvement of the community to respond. It is with deep gratitude and appreciation for the involvement and the dedication of the Franklin County Commissioners for their leadership in addressing this problem and recognizing the work of LSS Choices.
Sue, I know that over time we've been working with you, and I know that working with, I'm on the board of the Center for Family Safety and Healing, and we know that women and men fail to report many times because of fear, and they're afraid to report because of losing their children. They're afraid to report because they don't want their animals to be lost to them. And I know with the new facility, there will be changes that will impact on safety for the families. Can you talk a little bit about what will change in terms of families and the safety for them to leave the home?
Certainly. Thank you for asking that question. The first and major change is just the increase in size. At this point, we maintain a wait list at Choices. With, if you think about a family fleeing violence who's asked to wait a couple of days before they come into shelter, that's frightening. We simply do not have the space to accommodate the need in this county. So to increase our capacity from 51 beds to 120 will eliminate the need for the wait list. We've also designed the shelter so that as this county grows, and we know it's growing tremendously, there's already space shelled in for additional capacity. Should we need that at some point in the future, it won't require new building. But it's capacity we don't have to use right now. The other important safety feature that's being built into the shelter addresses one of the concerns Commissioner Brown raised. Families sometimes won't leave because of fear of what will happen to their pets. The new facility will allow families to bring their pets with them and be sheltered in the same location.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you for the work that you do, more importantly, the advocacy that you represent for many men and women who experience domestic violence, not just in Central Ohio, but throughout our great country. And it's an unfortunate scenario, but it's an unfortunate scenario that we know all too often is a part of families and lives, and your work allows for an outlet, a direction for people to rebuild their lives when they've been in those situations. And I'm sure someone listening to you today or seeing you on TV today, you're giving them hope, and you don't realize that all the time, but what you represent is the hope for many people out there that need that as a resource. So thank you for what you do. I know since I've been a commissioner, it's one of the things supporting that's been the easiest thing to support. You know, we get so many requests and so many different asks from us. And I can remember when I first became a commissioner, there was a funding need early on, and it was such an easy decision. And I remember going to my colleagues and sort of learn, and they were it was just a no-brainer in terms of the commitment. And so I just know that we're with you in this fight and the struggle, and want to encourage you to continue what you represent in that work.
Thank you very much.
Well, Kevin's right. This is certainly an easy thing to do. Always an easy commitment, an easy bit of work for us to be able to support. Thank you for everything that you do. This is a time when this is something that's gets a lot of notice. It gets a lot of sadly gets a lot of notice in the news, and it's getting a lot of recognition, very sadly, in the media, and a lot of attention these days. And so, on one hand, that's very sad. On the other hand, that's a good thing. And so, while you're here, if you could once again, and we do this a lot, but it's important for those that do watch us, give us some information about how folks can reach you and very easily be in touch with you.
Thank you for that. I would like to give the crisis hotline number. That is the access to all Choices services as well as referrals to other needed community services.
Exactly.
That number is 614-224-4663.
Thank you. And, it's
Great.
wonderful to know that it's not just women, it's not a women's issue.
Yeah.
This is an issue that my two colleagues take very seriously, and men need to take very seriously as well as women. And I am honored that my two colleagues take this as seriously as I do, and they have been great supporters of Choices.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate all of your support.
Sue, stick around for a second.
Okay.
We got to pass a resolution,
All right.
but I do have a couple questions on the resolution, so we're actually going to treat it like a normal resolution. So just stick around. We're going to do this really quick. So
All right. Thank you.
Hang with us for a second. First, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the September 11, 2018 general session meeting?
Move approval of the minutes.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Minutes have been approved.
First, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 659-18. Resolution authorizing choices for victims of domestic violence to receive the fees collected in 2019 for the support of shelters for victims of domestic violence.
Move approval of resolution 65918.
Second,
And before we take the roll call, I did want to ask a couple of questions because I think this is important and unique to recognize. So I just want to make sure we collect fees from divorce, annulments, marriage dissolutions, and so forth, and a portion of it. What portion of it is allocated for fees to domestic violence, and how does that work? How does that process work, and how long has that been played? I think this is very important, and I'm going to promote this on social media because this is something that's important.
Commissioner, Zach Schlerich with the Office of Management and Budget. $17 of every marriage license and $32 of every action for divorce or dissolution is allocated for the benefit of domestic violence shelters, and Franklin County has allocated that to choices. I believe they're collectively referred to as the Senate Bill 46 collections. I believe it was the 1980s, Sue? Is that 90s?
Not certain.
It's been a number of years, so.
So you said that if $17 for marriage license, so $17 of every marriage license fee, and $32 of what?
Every action for divorce or dissolution.
how do we work to increase that amount? Is there a way to do that?
Statutory.
It's-
The Ohio General Assembly would have to increase those fees.
Okay.
President Boyce,
Good to know.
Commissioner Brown, Commissioner O'Grady.
Okay.
And it's estimated that these fees will generate approximately $315,000.
Good to know.
And this is a really good example of when the legislature actually gets something right. Oh, I can't believe I said that publicly. So you think about that legislation, and it
Had to have been an accident. Kevin.
right, exactly. Somehow they got in there. But that being said, it is a good accident if it was, because this is one of those things where the value is exponential, and we should do more, and I hope we can do more. So I know we do also put other funds. It should be noted we put general funds in choices in the past, correct?
Yes.
And to support. So this isn't all that we do in Franklin County, but we know more is needed, and we can do more, and we'll do better, and we can do better. So good. Thank you. Thanks for the explanation.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 659-18 has been adopted.
At this time, we'd like to present you with this resolution honoring Domestic Violence Month. Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yeah.
It's an important distinction.
Thanks, Sue. Absolutely. All right, next up, Coroner.
Resolution number 660-18, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for physician recruitment services and tuition reimbursement.
Commissioner Zach Chelark again on behalf of the Coroner's Office. This resolution authorizes a transfer from the Commissioner's contingency in the amount of $88,395. This will backfill appropriations within the Coroner's Office for materials and services, for physician recruitment services, for recruiting pathologists, as well as tuition reimbursement that could not have been absorbed within their current budget. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 66018.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 660-18 has been adopted.
Was I supposed to do something with this?
That's add-ons at the end.
Oh, okay, that's all right, good. Look, where this, all right. Engineer. And at this time, we're going to have a public hearing. Can the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
Public hearing, resolution regarding the establishment, altering, and widening of Boer Road from Quail Creek Boulevard to State Route 104, Jackson Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed, engineered to file plans as necessary.
At this time, I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak at this public hearing on this resolution today? All right. Seeing that there are none, I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 661-18, establishing, altering, and widening of Boer Road from Quail Creek Boulevard to State Route 104, Jackson Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed, engineered to file plans as necessary.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of Engineer Robertson, my name is Fritz Crozier, and with me today is
Carla Marable.
Commissioners. On September 4th, the Board declared necessary the improvement of Boer Road from Quail Creek Boulevard to State Route 104. This is a collaborative project between Franklin County, Grove City, and Jackson Township, located in southwest Franklin County. The project will improve Boer Road and multiple intersections along the corridor, and this resolution represents the second legislative step in the project development process. Authorizes the county engineer to enter into agreements as necessary for the completion of the project.
Move approval of 66118.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 661-18 has been adopted. Resolution number 662-18, establishing, altering, and widening of Bevelheimer Road from Walnut Street to Central College Road, Plain Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
Commissioners, this next resolution seeks to declare necessary the improvement of Bevelheimer Road from Walnut to Central College. This is a collaborative project between the county engineer, the drainage engineer, and Plain Township. It's located in the northeast part of Franklin County. The project will rebuild a portion of Bevelheimer Road and improve drainage in the area.
Move approval of 66218.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 662-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff's Office.
Resolution number 663-18, resolution authorizing a transfer of appropriations and a purchase order for the return of prisoners.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services for Sheriff Baldwin. As mentioned, this resolution authorizes a transfer of appropriations and the approval of a purchase order to cover the expenses incurred in the pursuit and transportation of prisoners. It covers the expenses for transporting 42 in May, 38 in June, 50 in July, and 38 in August. The itemized monthly reports have been submitted and approved by the sheriff, and with no questions, we ask approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 66318.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 663-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer.
Resolution number 664-18, resolution authorizing a novation agreement with Meter Public Funds Incorporated, doing business as United American Capital for investment advisory services.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Cheryl Brooks Sullivan, Franklin County Treasurer, and I have with me Emily Perkins. And as mentioned, we are here today for the final step in the approval of a merger between United American Capital Corporation, which we have a long-standing relationship with. They are our investment advisors, and Meter Corporation. So they will have a combined total asset capacity of $10 billion. Meter was established in April 1st of 1974. And they together will be managing 41 Ohio counties, which is over 70% of the total amount of Ohio County funds. So we feel very secure in the research that has been done, and that this approval will allow us to just continue on with the corporation that we have been experiencing great success with.
Excellent. Well, sat and had a long conversation with Mr. Yacobosi from United
Yes.
American Capital. Feel pretty good about this. This is a good conversation. I know Dennis for a long time, and I know they've had a long relationship with Franklin County. So this is so I'll move approval of Resolution 664-18.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 664-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Animal control.
Resolution number 665-18, resolution authorizing appropriation adjustments for the operation of the animal shelter.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm Kay Dixon, Director of Animal Control, Franklin County. And as you know, the recommendations have come in from the Wisconsin study, and we began to implement those recommendations. And one of those was to add another assistant director position. And the resolution will approve that increase. It will also increase appropriations by $774,800 for payroll, materials, and services. And I respectfully request approval.
Move approval of Resolution 665-18.
I'll second that.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 665-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 666-18, resolution supporting the development of and authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to enter into an agreement with the Ohio State University College of Nursing and Columbus Public Health on behalf of Celebrate One for a pilot of the Building Healthcare Futures program.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joy Bivens, Director of Franklin County Job and Family Services. Franklin County and our agency have played a critical role in Celebrate One's efforts to curb infant mortality across Central Ohio since its inception, whether that is through our support of safe sleep initiatives or work to connect eligible women and families with Medicaid or other support services. With the success of our Building Futures pre-apprenticeship pilot, the agency has also sought to develop additional career pathways for TANF-eligible customers to obtain good jobs and pay a living wage, moving from off public assistance and into middle-class wages. The Community Health Workers Program model in place at the Ohio State University College of Nursing aligns with those objectives. This is a 12-week certificate program that provides residents from low-income communities, including Celebrate One's 8 high-priority neighborhoods, with the skills and training to become a licensed community health care worker in addition to a weekly stipend. These are in-demand jobs that pay a living wage, median over $18 an hour. They also help build individual and community capacity by increasing health knowledge and self-sufficiency through a range of activities such as outreach, community education, informal counseling, social support, and advocacy. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval for this resolution, but I do want to make mention, Commissioners, if I could, similar to what we've done with our Building Futures program, this will be 3 cohorts that we will do through this program, 25 person per cohort, 75 individuals in a pilot in partnership with the Ohio State University College of Nursing, Franklin County, and Celebrate One. Commissioner Brown and I were over at the Ohio State University Nursing College on Friday with President Drake, who kicked off this phenomenal partnership. We do have Alicia Leatherman in the room from Celebrate One if you have additional questions regarding this program.
This is a great partnership. And the community health workers going into the homes of their neighbors is the best way for people to really get to see what's going on in the family and refer family members to other services as well. So I'm thrilled we're doing this. It's a win for everybody.
It is. It's trust. You establish trust.
That
with the
trust
mom.
relationship is just incredible.
Yeah.
You want to have her come up and share
Absolutely.
some words?
Sure.
Come on up, Alicia Leatherman. It's like the price is right.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good. How are you?
Good. On behalf of the Mayor and Director Jones, with Celebrate One, we just want to say thank you for supporting this effort. We, through private funds, have had a program that we've trained 72 men and women from the Celebrate One neighborhoods over the last 3 years, and we're thrilled to continue this partnership. It is a workforce development effort in our Celebrate One neighborhoods. It also, as you mentioned, connects moms. Our connectors, our community health workers are in grocery stores. They're in the WIC offices. They're in the JFS offices, talking to families about the resources that are available. So I just want to say thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And Commissioners, if I can just make mention, when we talk about training people within the neighborhood, and I think I mentioned this to you, Commissioner Boyce, yesterday, it's one thing for organization to go out to come into a neighborhood or to a person's home who they don't know. It's another thing for a person to be trained that is in the neighborhood, that looks like the person, talks like the person, that actually lives in the neighborhood. It develops a greater trust.
Sure.
And while that community health worker is in that home or wherever they have the opportunity to meet the mom or individual, they're able to assess other needs in that home. So if there's a grandma who needs additional service through aging, that community health worker will be equipped to provide that type of service in referring that family. So this is really good for our community.
So I was honored a few years back to be able to serve on the infant mortality task force that the mayor put together when he was city council president, and he's been leading this effort for the community for several years. It's been 3 or 4 years now, 5 years now, I guess maybe. And I was honored to be able to speak on your guys' behalf at the event a week and a half ago, I guess now, at the annual report of the Celebrate One task force, and it's great to see that there's some progress being made, and that this is a great effort that's being pushed forward. Director Jones is doing a great job, and your organization is doing really good work here, and so this will be an impactful effort here, and so I'm glad that the county's that we're able to step up and do. These are our clients, and so I'm glad that we're able to do our part and service the folks that we need to here as well. So this is good work.
Yeah. Thank you for your work. And, I think the benefit of this program being sponsored by the Ohio State University College of Nursing is that the men and women that go through the program also get the benefit of building on that certificate if they so choose, and can do even more if they want, and can do even it's a pathway.
Right.
And that bridge is so helpful to get them to self-sufficiency in other areas of healthcare that are so needed in our community. So I am just thrilled. Overall, this is just a wonderful program, starting with Celebrate One and beyond that, getting into the community. This is just such a great program, so thank you.
It's a decent paycheck too, so it's not a bad.
Yeah.
Individuals can go to Celebrate One's website, contact Celebrate One if they would like to, if they're interested in signing up in order to go through these 12-week certification program.
Great, thank you. Move approval of Resolution 66618.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 666-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 667-18, resolution authorizing the approval of 12 fiscal year 2018 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development funded grant agreements to provide community development services to Franklin County residents in the amount of $1,383,431.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mark Paxson, Economic Development Planning. This resolution seeks the approval of 12 federally funded contracts. Funding for the contracts were approved by way of Resolution 46118 on June 26. This is when the county submitted its 2018 action plan to HUD. The action plan communicates to HUD how the county intends to expend dollars on the Community Development Block Grant, Home, and Emergency Solutions programs. Contracts total $1.38 million, approximately $848,000 to housing, $190,000 to public services, $234,000 towards homelessness prevention, and $110,000 in fair and affordable housing programming. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of the contracts.
Move approval of 667-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 667-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Child Support Enforcement.
Resolution number 668-18, resolution authorizing a contract between the Franklin County Child Support Enforcement Agency and Capital Law School to assist the CSEA in the development of domestic violence screening, referral, and education services as part of the CARE PJAC federal grant in the amount of $31,095.53.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, representing the Child Support Enforcement Agency. And coincidentally, this resolution provides for domestic violence support services within the child support program. So the agency, approximately 2 years ago, was awarded a federally funded research grant entitled Procedural Justice Informed Alternatives to Contempt to study the impact of using principles of procedural justice along with other supports and services to improve the payment of child support by non-custodial parents who are otherwise eligible for judicial contempt due to noncompliance with the child support order. So part of the grant's design includes engaging the custodial parent in the process and providing supports while the obligor is participating. Part of the grant's design is the requirement that all grantees work with a domestic violence expert to develop a DV plan, provide comprehensive staff training, and assistance for individual situations as they arise. The grant budget allowed $70,000 for this purpose, and the agency contracted with Capital Law, Family Advocacy Clinic, and the Family Youth Law Center for this purpose. And I have to say, this contract has been tremendously successful, and it's a partnership unique in our field. The original contract was not fully spent, and there's still work to be done to refine the DV plan, continue staff training, and create plans to ensure the safety of all participants to whom we provide services. The CSE requests a new contract to continue to use these grant funds as the engagement of clients in the process continues. Pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
Move approval of 668-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 668-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 669-18, resolution authorizing professional services contracts with Valerie Coleman and Bailey Stobart and an extension of contract with Marcia White for peer support and recovery coaching services in the amount of $36,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Pearson on behalf of the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. We're pleased to be one of the first government organizations in Franklin County to hire and use peer support specialists in our work with the justice-involved female population, especially as they transition out of the Franklin County Jail and back into our community and into early recovery for many of them. Our peers offer referral and linkage, group facilitation on the weekends and in the evenings, emotional support, and vitally needed transportation. Along with, they expose a lot of our ladies to the recovery community, which is so very, very important. We are requesting extension and continuation of contracts with Ms. Marcia White for $8,000, Ms. Valerie Coleman for $8,000, and Ms. Bailey Stobart for $20,000. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of these three consultant contracts.
Move approval of Resolution 669. 8?
9.
669. 18.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 669-18 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 670-18, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,020,935.99.
Here we go.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Carl Cuse, representing the Purchase Department. The resolution before you request for approval of 126 purchase orders. For small emerging business enterprises, there are 26 purchase orders, which equals 34.6 of the eligible purchase order volume. Their purchase order dollar amount is $60,814.14, which is 66.5% of the eligible purchase order dollar value. Eligible purchase orders are those where the SEBs are likely to participate. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability funds by the county auditor. Pending any questions, I recommend their approval.
Move approval of Resolution 670-18.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 670-18 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 671-18, resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into agreements for the acquisition of countywide cybersecurity training.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. We would like to discuss cybersecurity this morning. It coincides with a national effort, the National Cybersecurity Month. This is the 15th year where the federal government, through the Department of Homeland Security, has brought the public's attention to cybersecurity and how important it is, and it's a very important part of our national security. But with that being said, our CIO will go into great detail, but me, in the name of keeping it simple, I'd like to briefly touch upon how cybersecurity is present in every aspect of our life, whether you're at home, at work, at school, or on the go. And regardless of whether you think you're a real techie or not, there are still steps that you need to take to make yourself safe online. And there's 5 tips that I'd like to highlight that the public should use every day, and that's to enable strong authentication when they're using different devices. We're so mobile. We have cell phones, we have iPads, even children connect to the internet via video games. We have streaming devices. It's very important that you lock down your login. And for the public, the website is www.lockdownyourlogin.com, where you can find more information as to how you can have strong authentication as you connect your devices to various Wi-Fi connections. Also, individuals should make their passwords long and strong, meaning if it's simple to you, it's likely simple for somebody else. And if you use common names, you name it after your dog, you name it after, all those things create risk. And also, you should keep your machine clean. And the best way to keep your machine clean is to update your security software. Don't ignore the updates when they pop up on your machine. Maybe you can update, if you got something important to do, maybe you can delay it till that evening, but don't let it go on day after day, because that creates risk. And when in doubt, throw it out. Links and emails and online posts often open a door for cyber criminals to compromise your computer. So if it looks suspicious, even if you know the source, you should delete it, because a lot of people are smart. They may use an email address or even target someone that you know, and they haven't even sent that to you. So if there's any suspicion, don't be curious to click. Just try to throw it out. And lastly, share with care. Don't be paranoid, but limit the amount of personal information that you share online, and that when you do, you should make sure your privacy settings are set such that you avoid the information being able to be widely shared. So with that being said, those are 5 simple tips. Our CIO will go into much more detail.
Before you
Of course he will.
could you make sure that the simple tips are shared online on our website for our employees?
Yeah, we can do that. I just saw Tyler
I think
nod.
that would make sense, and for the community on the external site, because I think people just don't know what's okay to share and what's not.
Right.
A lot of people just don't understand, and I think those were simple enough that we ought to share.
Exactly.
Now, for more detail.
Thank you, County Administrator Kenneth Wilson. Thank you, Commissioner Brown. This year's theme is that cybersecurity is our shared responsibility, and we all must work together to improve our nation's cybersecurity. According to the Online Trust Alliance, cybersecurity incidences targeting businesses nearly doubled from 82,000 in 2016 to 159,700 in 2017, with the primary method of attack being ransomware, which is a malicious software designed to block access to a computer system until a sum of money is paid. One recent breach in the city of Atlanta shut down government operations for 5 days and cost millions of dollars to rectify. 93% of all breaches could have been avoided by regular updating software, like the county administrator said, blocking fake email messages, training employees to recognize phishing attacks where targets are contacted through a fraudulent email. Within the county, the data center has worked with public facilities management to distribute informational posters to raise staff awareness, such as the first slide you see before you within your packet. They will be releasing a different poster each week and will be updating the portal with tips on protecting the county's information. The second slide in your packet contains links to educate the public with resources for individual residents, businesses, and government. All the educational resources are free, and many of the services offered are free. Some of the main sites are the National Cybersecurity Alliance at staysafeonline.org, stopthinkconnect.org, and the Center for Internet Security at cisecurity.org. And Tyler will be working to distribute this via social media. We'll be sending tips throughout the month.
Great.
And I'd like to thank you, the board, and County Administrator Kenneth Wilson for your continued support in protecting the county's data and assets.
Well, we shouldn't think that this can't happen. I mean, we had good friends in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, who in Charlotte, that this very thing happened to, and it basically shut them down for how long? I mean, they were out of commission and it cost them a lot of money, a lot of money to get back up and running, and they were shut down for quite a period of time.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare for the entire county and all of their operations. Mecklenburg County is no small operation. They're basically our size, and they were out of commission for quite a period of time, and it was a nightmare for them. And we dealt with them. We were supposed to be with them when it happened. We were supposed to be with them at a conference, and they didn't show. They weren't there, and they were back in North Carolina dealing with the fact that their entire county was shut down, and they weren't able to operate. And they had to decide whether, and they were being held ransom basically by folks that shut them down, and they had to decide whether they were going to pay or how they were going to handle it. And so it was a tough situation for them, and so we don't want to be in that situation. That's for sure.
No, we sure don't.
And
we also get, I don't know if you guys are aware, but we've had several requests that have come in emails in my name, fake emails. I can assure you that I have not requested a dozen debit cards from the county, but these requests come in with my name on it, and
just 10 of them. My staff has gotten requests for you to come and do tasks on your behalf, which is pretty.
No, those are real, but the credit card repurchases are not.
I thought you requested 10.
Right. It was 12, but okay. But we do get those, and it's been several. They'll create a fake email with my name on it and send it in with the request, and I'm always amazed at the boldness of these folks and what they would do. And we're also
have spoken with the sheriff's office about, our own cyber
Yeah.
investigation resources to be able to go after, some of these folks. I mean, I know they're so sophisticated, but we have to have our own line of defense, and we have to have our own set of security standards, even beyond the technology part.
Sure.
To be able to pursue that when we can. And so, if you're watching, we're coming for you. They're taking my name. Nonetheless, this is really important stuff because
It
we
is.
live in a cyber world. We live in a technology world, and the password thing is so annoying, quite honestly, because I can never remember the password I said. But it's critical. It's critical, and and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, now my dog, cat, cow, all of these things that you put in, and it never ends. But it's important.
It's very important, and to change your password, it seems like an inconvenience, but it's really very important that we do it. And you have to take this seriously. As we know, other counties have experienced issues, other businesses have experienced these issues. It's bound to happen, and we take this very seriously. And it's essential that we take our passwords and our browsing very seriously, not doing opening of emails that look suspicious and forwarding them. Really important. Thank you.
And this specific resolution before you authorizes the county administrator to sign agreements related to cybersecurity awareness training for all Franklin County staff. This training is one of the keys to securing the county's resources, and this training is necessary to maintain our countywide cyber insurance policy. And I want to thank Brad Boroff, the data center CIO, and Nikki Milburn, the security manager for the data center, for their assistance in researching and identifying this training. And pending any questions, I recommend approval of this resolution.
Has this been read into the?
Yes.
Okay. Move approval of resolution 67118.
Second.
Moved and second in voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 671-18 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
And I believe that concludes our meeting. Thank you. Oh, are there any journalizations?
There are none. There are none, Commissioner.
Now that concludes.
Now it concludes our meeting.
Ugh.